The AGM-88C HARM missile is an anti-radiation missile, meaning it uses the radar beam emitted by an enemy anti-air radar station and it tracks that beam to the source. So it uses their own radar against them. This makes the missile completely passive, emits no signal of its own to give its position away. So these are really great, our best defense to neutralize enemy SAM threats or radar-guided AAA. There can be 4 carried on the Hornet, 1 on each wing station of the aircraft. Using it is actually very simple. Master Arm on, air-to-ground mode, and select a HARM missile. You'll see this screen here where you can select which mode it is in. Right now it is in self-protect, the other modes aren't available yet. Stepping through the different missiles and resetting your current missile to the highest threat. Targeting designation of the missile is used with the RWR. That can be either with the RWR built into the cockpit, one on either one of the DDI screens, or you can use the HUD mode and see the indications up here. So we can see that there's a BB, which is part of a SA-10 site, and an SA-6 out there targeting me. Using the RAID FLIR FOV select button on the HOTAS section is how you cycle targets. By default, this is the I key. We can see which target is currently selected by having a box around it. By pressing that I key, you can see that I'm cycling which target is selected. So whichever target has a box around it is the one the current HARM missile is targeting. Once you've designated a target, you simply have to point the nose of the aircraft relatively towards where that target is and press the release button. From that point on, the missile is completely fire and forget. You could fire on another target or another missile on the same target or maneuver however you see fit. These missiles are fairly smart. They're not perfect though, and the enemy does have some limited options to defeat the missile if they can detect it coming. So if you're in doubt that your missile is going to get the target, fire more than one. Worth noting is that the missile actually targets the radar, not the missile launcher. So a SAM system like the SA-6 or the SA-10, where the search and track radars are separate from the actual missile launchers, then you can actually target the missiles themselves. This is still very useful because without the radar, they can't target you, they can't launch and track you, but they may have more than one radar for a particular site. Or they might even leave one offline until the first one is destroyed and then turn it on and try to pop up and surprise you. Also note that there is no range information given anywhere for the distance to that target or of the HARM missile itself. That's because when you're in the self-protect mode, that information is unavailable. The maximum range that a HARM missile is going to get is about 80 nautical miles, but that's only if you're over 40,000 foot in altitude and going pretty fast. The lower you are, the slower you're going, it's the less range that the missile has. So when you're in your more normal 20s and 30,000s of foot of altitude, I would say a better rule of thumb is about 40 nautical miles for the range of the missile. But the only way to actually know the distance to target is to either have good intelligence on where the missile is, maybe using the F10 map if you've got the, if you can see things on it, or knowing the capabilities of the various systems, knowing, say, for example, that's an SA-6, and knowing about what its threat levels and capabilities are, and then making judgments based on the RWR, because this is not showing you distance, this is showing you threat level. If you're really in doubt about range, wait until you are locked on or even fired upon, release your own missile, and then get evasive. Because if you can't get any closer to the target without getting killed yourself, then that is essentially the best range you're going to get anyway.